What's up? Intoxicated television
Yo.
in your motherfucking face. Fucking double Z.
on? Johnny.
Johnny.
That's me.
Yo. So, Johnny, we've done interviews before and shit, and we always talk about how we met and the history, and we'll have to do that again, obviously, for this channel or whatever. But we've never had an interview where we break it down and we're talk about ourselves personally. So I want to be the first one to interview you and find out your history. What's your back history? What happened that you decided that you wanted to go down a path of this musical fucking crazy life?
Well, it was never really it was never really a decision. That kind of just fell into my lap. I was never wanted to be oh yeah, I want to be a part of a band. I want to play shows. There was nothing I ever thought about it. I just enjoyed making music. And then, here we are.
Here we are indeed.
There's a lot more in between that.
All right. First of all, I think you have to speak up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe not.
Through, right?
Maybe not. But so what? Let's talk about Baby Johnny. Is there music? Do you remember a musical upbringing? Are records or what started the music journey?
So yeah, I started out when I was 8 years old. I don't even know how I got into music, but my mom got a old piano from some lady in our church when we were young, and had it in the house, and I'd always mess around on it. And then she ended up getting me piano lessons, and I took it up, and I was doing hella good. And then I just, we kept playing on piano, and then kind of stopped as I was growing up, and did some other things, skateboarding, and hanging out with friends. But then my grandpa also, he was an old timer Mexican flamenco style guitar player, and he'd always be playing guitar at parties and singing and stuff. So
dope.
Yeah. So cool.
So you had did you be able to see him and stuff growing up, fucking rocking out, he always had it around, or you seen him?
Oh yeah.
With shows, or when family gatherings, he'd break it out or something, or
yeah, I never seen him do shows, but we'd always go almost weekly. We'd go over to my grandparents' house. They just live a few blocks down from where we lived. We grew up at, and yeah, I'd bust out his guitar and start singing while dinner's being made.
Hell yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, music has always been part of my upbringing.
That's what's up.
But even then, I had no desire, no thought of me playing any kind of music. It was cool. It was just around us. We were just kids playing with our cars and playing with toys, and while he's just sitting there jamming out, playing some old school Mexican music.
Right. So you said about the piano. So you got some lessons for piano, you rocked it out, and then you kind of just drifted away from it. So then you said you started skating and stuff?
Yeah. I drifted away. I mean, I did that was like years later. I was doing piano at 8 years old. I didn't start skating till I was like 17, 16, 17.
All right, so I mean, so what the piano stuff just like fizzled out. So you knew that you could do it, but you kind of just like outgrew it and you drifted away from it
Yeah,
for a
I
while,
never.
or I was a what?
I got really good. I could read sheet music. I was playing Beethoven songs. I was playing all kinds of
What?
stuff. Yeah. I had a whole book on the piano, and I'd sit there and I could play anything that was in front of me.
Bruh, you told me you can't read notes, motherfucker.
Not anymore. Not anymore. I lost all that.
What?
Yeah, I used to
The
be hella good.
You heard it here, man. What the fuck? He knew it the whole time. Man, fucking I've been bamboozled and shit, man. What?
But then after that, she was, I don't know what grade you're in at 8 years old, like third grade or something. And then fifth grade comes along and have an opportunity to be in band. I was like, oh, cool. My older brother was in band. Yeah, I should join.
Which one?
Marco.
What did he do?
He first started playing the clarinet and then he started playing saxophone. I was like, oh,
Word.
he was doing like some school shows and stuff. I was like, that's cool. And then I came up to have opportunity to be in band. I was like, no, I want to play the trumpet.
All right.
So from the end of fourth year grade, starting the fifth year grade, I was like, okay, I want to play trumpet. So I started playing trumpet. I knew through the summertime, I got an early summer, so I pretty much taught myself how to play trumpet before I even went to school. And so I was just like kicking ass at trumpet as soon as I got there. I knew the whole books and everything. I could play everything perfect. And so I was always first chair. There was a couple people that would try to challenge me, but I always kick their asses.
Damn, bro.
Playing trumpet.
I don't even know about that.
But I only played that for 1 year. And then, well, kind of fell off of that and then stopped doing that for a minute.
But you dropped out of band after that?
Yeah.
So what were you doing? Puberty?
I didn't really drop out of band. Our band teacher got fired. Mr. Gorder, he was my inspiration. He was hella good. But he's also a drunk. He'd come up to he would show up every day to school. You could
just smell it on him.
I didn't know what
shit.
alcohol smelled like back then, like I do now. Well, yeah, he just smelled on his breath. So he got fired.
He got fired for being intoxicated.
Yeah.
Yikes. Don't do that, teachers. Leave those kids alone.
But yeah. And then after he got fired, I was like, okay, then didn't fill out for bands the next year. So yeah, a couple years later, I had a guitar at my house, my grandpa's guitar, and had some friends come over from the church, and there was this chick that came over, and she's like, "Oh, you have a guitar? Let me see that." And then she played Metallica 1. I was like, "Holy shit, that's freaking awesome!" Had a major crush on her. All right, so I want to learn that song so I can try to show her that I can learn the song and try to impress her, you know. So I spent like hours and hours just up all night on my computer and freaking, what do you call it? AOL dial-up.
Right.
Looking up on how to play it. And yeah, after I don't know how many weeks, I learned how to play that song to the T perfectly.
Gang.
I can't play it anymore, but yeah, I learned it.
One?
Yeah.
All right. So this is before your skateboarding days?
Yeah.
So like
I was probably like 14, 15 when I picked up the guitar and started trying to learn it.
All right, I'm trying to like, this is what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, all right, how about like I'll rephrase all this shit, but like a redirect is like like what are your earliest influences? Is like how did I know that you're like bad with names and shit like that, and like you just know music and shit.
Yeah.
But like, what are your like earliest memories of like regardless what it is and shit? You know what I mean? Like me personally, like I remember like during Christmas time, my grandma's like bumping Elvis fucking records and shit like that. So like I'm trying to figure like what is your musical like you know what I'm saying? Like what
Oh,
are your
okay, yeah.
earliest
So,
memories? Like you said, your grandpa was like playing the flamenco and shit, right?
mhm.
You know what I mean? So like, obviously you had that Mexicana like thing growing
Mhm.
up, like influence. Like you remember that, like as a
Yeah.
kid, like your grandpa, like you guys are all just playing or whatever, but that's something that you remember, like so like take go through your journey of like musical like your memories of how it evolved into whatever, right?
Yeah. Okay. So here's something I haven't thought about in a while. Because we'd go visit my uncle every summer for 3 months out of school. So I was probably about 10 years old, and then my uncle's son, his name was Bobby. He was probably like 15. Him and his little skateboarding buddies would be at the house skateboarding, and he showed me some punk rock, like Suicidal Tendencies and that kind of stuff. He was just showing me. I was like, oh, this is badass.
Yeah.
I never heard anything like it because I'm just used to listening to, old Mexican music and stuff. Nothing really,
How old? What do you
nothing really
say?
out there. Like 10 years old, I think.
Yeah, right. Your homie came over. It was like
Oh, no, my cousin, yeah.
oh, your cousin. It was like, oh, you gotta check this shit out, or
Yeah,
what? Yeah,
yeah,
right.
he'd just be playing this. That's one of them I can remember is Suicidal Tendencies. I forget who else we would
Hell
play,
yeah.
but maybe some Misfits. But yeah, he was a skater. Listen to punk rock. Oh, I like this music. It's like cool. He's the one who kind of taught me how to skate. But yeah, I do remember that.
So like skating and like like skaters and shit at that time, like years, like we're talking a long time ago and shit. But like even now, I mean, skating introduces you to music because you meet other skaters and shit. And like it's like a the underground. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you're.
that's way different because growing up, like we were raised by a single mother, so she kind of kept us really like, what's the word? Not under the radar, but like just
Sheltered.
yeah, sheltered. So like we didn't get to experience too much outside of whatever she showed us, which is like a lot of oldies.
Like oldies, like I mean, you had mentioned like church, so you were heavily involved with the church, right?
Right.
And so like church music, like
Um,
gospel music.
Not even like, I mean, we don't really listen to that kind of music at church.
Yeah, right.
Afterwards, it would be just some oldies like Beach Boys. Um, what's the other one? Like Lionel Richie. It's all like the old school. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, we kind of like, not nowadays, but as we're growing up, it's kind of like the lowrider kind of style music, just the oldies. Yeah, I can't remember the names of all of them. But
Yeah, no, I know you can't. It's like R&B and stuff like that
yeah,
too. You know what I mean? Like
I do remember
I don't
I do
know.
remember dancing around as kids with my mom, like to a lot of Beach Boys. We had like a whole little tape cassette thing that had like 30 tapes in there, and I just had a bunch of just "You're mine, and we belong together," like
Yeah,
just a bunch of cool like oldies. So grew up listening to a lot of that.
like 50s oldies,
Yeah,
cause like You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, definitely 50s oldies.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, because if you're dropping like Richie Valens, like that's obviously like we're talking, like yeah, like you say, what you say, Lionel Richie. So that's like Commodores. Is it like a Sunday
Yeah.
morning? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
And yeah, I haven't thought about this in a long time.
yeah, man. This is why the fuck we talking about it and this shit, right? Like, let's see. Yeah. So, like, y'all were heavily involved in the church, and so you have the gospel stuff. But so you're so like, but so your mom is rocking like fucking like. Would she have a record player? Like y'all rocking records on the
We
weekend?
did
Or?
have some records. Most of it was tape.
Oh yeah, right. Oh
But
right.
we did have a nice like it was a little stereo system which had like yeah it had a little record player and it had a double tape player on it.
Yeah.
Like,
All right. All right. All right.
like that like the high end and back in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
almost like the same style speakers.
I still got the same setup over here and shit. Fucking tape players and record players and all that. So
yeah, it looked very similar, but yeah, it's
okay. So like, so when y'all playing music in the house and shit, like on weekends and shit, like y'all cleaning the house, or was music like playing all the time at your house?
It's almost
or
daily. We just have music playing all the time.
Yeah, right. That's dope.
Yeah,
I think music. I think. Can you imagine now, like fucking what, like kids, like their parents are like listening to fucking. I won't even say any names, but they're listening to some. You know, they're like all hyphy on some some wet ass pussy shit or something, and that's what the kids are like be bumping. But so no, that's what I'm saying. Like what?
Because back then when I was listening to all that music and we'd be dancing around, it was just all about the music. It wasn't until like the last maybe 10 years where I actually started paying attention to lyrics.
Yeah, right.
It was just all about just having fun with the beat and the song.
Yeah,
we're not even worrying about what words they're saying or anything. It was just listening to the music. This
right here is one of the most frustrating things I've ever had in my life, dealing with this guy, because I'm a lyricist, I'm a writer, and all I think about is words. And then I meet this guy, and we're worked together for many years now, on and off, many years. I
don't know words.
He's like, I don't even listen to fucking the words and shit. I've never listened to the words. And I'm like, it's just, I'm like, what? He's like, no, bro, I'm listening to the fucking beat, like how you play your guitar over the beat with the music, and you're flowing with the music, and you don't give a fuck what the fuck people are talking about and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that shit was like, yikes, bro. Like, cause I'm like, that's all I think about. If there was no words, I'm making up my own words, or there's like no direction flow about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's just weird like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that's when I realized, like, you know what I mean? Like we look that when I came to that realization that you brought that to me, then I realized everybody looks at music differently and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I might look at it one way, and somebody else sitting right next to me or anybody is like looking at it at a whole different, like their whole objective is like it's a whole different scheme of things. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not the greatest writer, because I never really paid attention to lyrics.
Right.
I just like the music.
At the same time, though, when we're personally writing music that you want me around to do lyrics because what you do is depends on my lyrics, right?
Yeah. Nah.
But I know, but like, and then I don't.
Yeah, I do. Now
it's like a different flow, intensity, fucking pickups, and fucking like. I mean, I don't know.
I gotta hit my spots right when you hit your whatever your punches in your lyrics.
Yeah.
So I've come to feel about it. Come to realize that different.
All right, man. We're gonna take a little pause break, and we'll be right back.
Don't go nowhere.
Don't go nowhere.